We are analyzing the worst foods that I've ever eaten, and I'm gonna jump right in because you saw the thumbnail and you're probably wondering what the heck is in that picture that was in the thumbnail. So let's pull that up right now, right on this live stream. And I'm actually gonna draw on the screen here and show you a little bit about what this is. Now, this is a dish called poutine from a YouTuber, Sam the Cooking Guy, his restaurant in San Diego. Now, when I talk about these worst foods I've ever eaten, the criteria is not always going to be if it tasted disgusting. We're going to go into some looks and maybe some other types of things that will make a food in that bad category. But this here, I'll start out telling you that this tasted pretty good. What it is French fries, and that's what we have right here. There's cheese curds, and you see those right there. And then on top of that, there's supposed to be a gravy. This gravy here, though, it looks lumpy as hell. And Sam the Cooking Guy, he's actually a YouTuber who is from Canada. He talks about that all the time, how he's from Canada. So I was surprised when I got this from Sam the Cooking Guy, how gross it looked, but it tasted amazing. And even though, this is supposed to be a little bit sensational to talk about a little bit of, the worst foods that I've ever had. So, like I said, some of these are going to be just the presentation wasn't bad. But in terms of this from Sam the Cooking Guy, pretty awful for a Canadian to put out gravy like that. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Next up, let's see what we got here. Oh, this is an interesting one. It's a video. Now, when I curated these from my library, I didn't have any criteria for dates. What I wanted to basically what I did was went all the way back to the beginning of when I started doing food content on YouTube, and that got me like 33 examples. We're going to see how far we get into those today. I don't know if we're going to get to all of them, but that could be a future live stream. And then I'm going to talk about toward the end of the stream a way that you can get involved for next week's live stream. So stick around for that. So next up, what we have here is, so what is it that we have? Oh, okay. All right. So this is actually another recent one. And let me pull up my, nope, that. All right. This is from Arby's. They have a cheesesteak. And I'm going to play through this and I'm going to pause it at an opportune moment here. Just because this was in the airport in Baltimore, Maryland. Let's see here. There we go. Yeah, you can see everything. You see the roll is not even filled out. And I got to tell you, this thing did not taste very good. You got all this empty space here. And like I said, this is an analysis. So as your food analyst, I'm going to be drawing on the screen, doing some annotations and lots of other good stuff here. So if you like that, make sure you hit the thumbs up. The steak on this was very sparse. A lot of peppers, red and green. Green peppers is not a thing that I really love very much. There were some onions in there. And in terms of how it tasted, I got to say, not very good at all. And not something I would really recommend. Up next, let's see what we got here. And some of these are going to be videos, and some of these actually have an accompanying video on the channel. If you want to get a little more about that, you could actually just like type into search. I don't know if I'm going to go back through and update all the links for this, but these are easily found on the channel here. Let's see. I don't want to go totally chronological, so let me start at the beginning. So here we go. When I first started this channel, I did a lot more. I don't want to say stunts because that's not really the thing, but I was trying to go for the types of views and things that what you see other YouTubers do. And with that, the one of the first things I did was went on Amazon and bought the Bulldog 2X spicy noodles. That's what we got here. And this was me during the pandemic actually trying to do a little bit of chefing up. So I got let me get a color here you guys can see. I got some seaweed. I got some nice soft boiled eggs. And these Bulldog 2X spicy noodles are super spicy. You can see that by the fact that there's all this red pepper here. And I made a hoisin glazed chicken. And in this case here, as Dom points out, in the chat here, I made the soup version. In this case here, I made the soup version, but when I did the actual challenge, I didn't. I actually just used a little bit of water instead of the whole packet. And then they give you this other packet that has more spices on top. And you could see here that this was spicy as heck. And this is actually my work computer. This was a work from home lunch during the pandemic. And in terms of it being the worst thing I ever ate, this was up there as far as being a pretty bad bowl of ramen. But doing all this chefing up actually made it taste pretty good. So there's that. Next up, let's see what we got here. Like I said, I'm trying to do these in a different kind of order. And so in a lot of cases, I might not actually name the restaurant or the place that I got stuff, not to protect places, but I don't want this to come across as like bullying, because that's not the intent here. This is to have a little bit of fun, to go a little deeper than what you would have seen in a video, and just to give a little bit of a topic to talk about, something lighthearted. Like I said, I'm not going after any restaurants. I'm not trying to bury anybody. Not the point here. But anyway, let's see. What do I want to do next? Oh, here we go. This was a good one. So in this one here, this was a sausage sandwich that I got for takeout. And essentially the reason why I put this in the category, because you can see from the construction here, this thing, there was no good way to eat this. You pick it up and this bread is super toasty. Like you can actually see the crust on this bread, and you have all that crust on there. The sausage is just like thick, sliced laterally. You could see that here. This piece here, you could see it a lot better. And it was just one of those things that you pick it up, you took a bite, and like it just disintegrated as soon as you bit into it. It tasted amazing. And this bread is actually from the oldest wood-fired oven in New York State. Not even wood-fired, sorry. The oldest coal-fired oven in New York State. So that was a fun one. But this is a sausage sandwich it had mayonnaise, tomatoes, and then romaine lettuce, which is an odd choice for a sandwich. And with that, the idea is just to say, you don't have to make a sandwich that is that I want to say messy. It's not the right word. What's the right word? Difficult to eat. A sandwich is supposed to be eaten with one hand and not just fall all over the place. If you make crumbs and stuff, that's a different story, but that's a whole different thing. Next up. All right, here we go. Now I'm going to get into a little trash talk, though. That's what I'm going to say that. Cookies, giant cookies. So these cookies here in this kind of grid format, they look like normal cookies. These things were half a pound a piece. Now, you can't really tell from the way I have it here because these are all overhead shots of each cookie. But this one here is a good example, right on the left, that you can see it mounded up. Essentially, each of these cookies in the middle was completely raw. Right around the time of the pandemic, I think this giant format cookie thing became a thing. And locally, we had a company here called Cookie Therapy, and that's where these cookies are from. Cookie Therapy ended up being this company that they generated a lot of hype. They were doing Instagram drops, and people were going absolutely nutty over the product. And they essentially disappeared after a period of time. And I think they've resurfaced here and there, and they've done a couple of other drops and whatever. But like the top cookie, what they were famous for was, I think, copying the crumble cookies kind of model. And the top one here, they have an Oreo cookie, and I think there was Oreos crumbled throughout the thing. This is a birthday cake cookie. Inside there was a little bit of icing, like a birthday cake icing. This one had a brown sugar Pop-Tart inside and brown sugar Pop-Tart on top. And what was weird about this, if you go back and watch that video, you'll hear me and Cassie actually actually, I have a comment. Home Rapid Repair. I'm going to get to your comment in just a second once I go through what these cookies are. The Pop-Tart got leathery inside, which was very odd. This one here, I don't recall what that one was. This one was a cinnamon bun. I think there was actually like a coffee cake inside of that one. And then this one here had like white chocolate chips and dark chocolate chips. Um, Good in concept, and as home wrapper repair here says, "Oh my god, I like raw dough." I I like raw dough too, but I have to say, when you're eating a cookie like this and there's that gradient from really crispy on the outside and cooked to essentially like completely raw in the middle, it's not as good an experience as just eating the raw dough. But I totally get what you're saying and I totally agree. But I come down on these large format cookies all the time, like Crumble, Levan. I mean, people rave up and down about Levan. And my brother, who's in the chat here, he took us there because there's one in his neighborhood, and I didn't love it. The flavors were amazing, but I didn't love the fact that I think if the cookies were half the size, they'd be better than what they are. But let's move on from the damn cookies. Let's see here. Let's go the other way. I would be remiss to not include this one. I got all my controls here. I got to hire a producer or something. This one is the $50 sandwich from Vid Summit. I will play through this little video. Basically, a box lunch that I got at Vid Summit. And where am I? Here we go. Oh, let's stop it there. Now, this is exactly what it was. 2 days of Vid Summit. Each day, I got this box lunch. So let's go through what it is. Here you have a ham sandwich, essentially what you'll get in middle school. Some ham, some American cheese, a little bit of lettuce. I think there was some tomato on there, and this really, really dry bread. There we go. Nice little face there. You get a cookie. Mine was a white chocolate macadamia, which is exactly the same white chocolate macadamia cookies that my company sells. An apple, some chips. The chips were random in the box. The second day, I think I got Sun Chips, a packet of Grey Poupon, and a packet of yellow mustard. The less I say about this, the better. I think the comments coming in lately on this is that I'm being a little unfair about conference food, and the idea behind my little rant about the food is to start something to get people into the Vid Summit video without actually calling out Vid Summit. But I will say this one was a fun one. Worst in terms of the fact that you go to Texas and you think you're going to get barbecue and really good stuff, and you get basically a school ham sandwich. Let's see here. I got a couple that are actually like in the same vein. This one here, I think I have to zoom in a little bit. Let's see. I can't zoom in a little bit. That's dumb. All right. We're live here, and we're just right now. Just I'm trying to do this and get a little practice with it, so that for the videos where it needs to be more snappy, I could be a little better with it. But we're having a good time here. These are fried wontons. Now, I'll show you right here. I don't like that. Let's do this in white. These wontons right here. There's no fry to it. In fact, you could see there's a lot of spots here that are not fried, but there are some that are going for some pretty crispy things. Home wrapped repair. Yeah, I definitely recommend Vid Summit. There are places near the conference center where you can eat. We're going to go into another one of those foods though in just a little bit on a worst foods list. Back to the fried wontons, and I'm kind of nostalgic for the fact that most places now make this type of fried wonton, and I will flip to another picture where it's the same kind of thing here. You have this kind of rubbery dough where it's just like pasta, where pasta doesn't really crisp up when you fry it. So there's that. And here's another one. This one I made a video about last year. These are a little bit crispier and they have this kind of hot oil. But the disappointing thing for me was this was a place that I used to go to in college all the time that used to make these amazing fried wontons, really nice and crispy, thick coating outside with this kind of brown dipping sauce they call hot oil. And it has a couple carrots and peas in there. And the funny thing about it is I went after like 22 years of not going to this place. I went to the place and I ordered it, and I think they changed owners and started using this kind of cheaper format of fried wontons, and it was so defeating because you could actually, if you watch the video, you could see my whole demeanor kind of. I get deflated in the video, and I tried to be as PC as possible when making that to not kind of trash the place, but you could feel the disappointment. And I mean, I hope it comes across because I was pretty disappointed. All right, let's see here. I'm skipping around and it's kind of here we go. This one was from over the summer. We went for tapas. It was a kind of a family meal. It was a great meal up at a place called Boca Bistro. But there were there was a couple things with the meal. This one being the most where the this is grilled octopus. I don't know why it didn't come to my head really quickly there. Grilled octopus, and there were just some parts that were like super burned. And this isn't just a matter of lighting. It was, kind of inedibly so, but the rest of it was really good. And it was served with hummus, which was an odd choice, very odd choice to serve with, a grilled octopus. But solid dish. I wouldn't say bad, but I would say they gotta ease up on grilling those things. Let's see what else we got here. I'm trying not to do the spoiler thing here on you. I pulled a couple of chicken sandwiches in. This one was a funny one. And with this one here, what do you think this is? These are French fries, obviously. But when you look at this, if you want to leave it in the chat or in the comments, I'll answer in just a second here. But this is from a Thai restaurant called Bangkok Bistro. The fries were advertised as coming with Parmesan cheese, not coconut. And that's what it is. I just gave it away. That's way to go, Jerry. I never heard of shredded coconut on fries before, but in this kind of format, it's impossible to actually pick up a fry without losing the coconut. I still don't get it to this day. And the less we say about that, the better. But the food there in general is very, very good. I think for 1 year, me and my brother Dom, who's in the chat, we got food from there for WrestleMania. It was the place that we ordered, and the food was ready within 15 minutes, like $200 worth of food. And we had put a pickup time 3 hours in the future. And that was kind of a fun that we ended up eating super early. I should have probably pulled this one up before, but another box of large format cookies. This is from Crumble Cookies. And these here, I will say, let me pull up my pen. Let's do a green. This one here was amazing. It was like a Neapolitan cookie where there was a strawberry frosting. There's chocolate and vanilla. Dom saying Crumble is the worst cookie place ever. We now have Crumble up here, but they opened a week after we got back from the San Diego trip. These were actually acquired during our San Diego trip back in February. We went to a sushi place that blew our minds, and then on the way out, we ended up going to Crumble Cookies and getting the 6-pack, basically every flavor they had that day. This on the upper right is a Snickers, which was good. It was all right. But again, like these two in the middle were mounds, and with these kind of what do you call it? Thicker cookies in the middle, they were definitely raw. But what I really loved, these two on the left were served cold, like completely cold. And Home Rapid Repair, your point here, the huge cookie places are great for gifts. And yeah, they're super shareable on social media. The thing I'll say about this though is these, since they're served cold and hot, like together, yeah, if you're going to give it as a gift, it has to be like something that the office eats that day, or whoever you're giving it to. These don't really carry much. They don't carry too well. You can reheat them in the microwave, but who wants to do that? But crumble cookies, you fall into the large format cookie thing. And let's see if there's another one. We'll get that one out of the way right now because I'm pretty sure I picked another. Maybe not. I tried not to get stuff and react too quickly. You know, while kind of picking these. But what I will go next into a couple of things that might be a little controversial, and that is the Paki One Chip. And I've done these for a couple of years, and I will say this particular year, this was 2020. You could see 2020. There's one chip inside of here. It's super spicy. It's actually a very weird thing. I don't know how they do it, but it's not like Dorito coating. It's like a more wet, weird kind of coating on these. That one it was pretty bad. And then another one, which I actually did on a live stream, which was probably one of the dumbest things I've ever done, is this one here. This was 2021. And like I said, I did this one live. This one had like a numbing effect and it was pretty gross. The chip itself was pretty wet. I do not recommend. I guess they've recalled the Pocky One chip this year because somebody may have actually lost their life. So let's not give Pocky too much more exposure. Their general chips though are pretty good, I will say. And I gotta throw something up there that I made because I can't just flame other people's things. I have to I have to take my licks myself and give myself a little bit of criticism. But this is a pretty silly thing that I made. This is flaming hot chicken parmesan. Now, getting into what it is, then there's an instructional video on my channel here where you can actually see how to make this flaming hot chicken parm. And what we got here is we got a nice thin chicken breast. It's coated with a mixture of flaming hot Doritos, which is what's here, and breadcrumbs, flour, egg, breadcrumb. And in the flour, I added some kind of cayenne pepper thing, which was pretty nasty. On top of that, we got Fra Diavolo sauce. On top of that, we got a cheese that had habanero peppers in it instead of your standard mozzarella cheese. And to garnish, we got pickled jalapeno peppers. And to kind of gild the lily a little bit, I actually drizzled with Calabrian chili oil. So I don't always make great things myself, including my ideas that for YouTube. Sometimes they're not very good, and I will tell you that, just like anything. This is actually a fun one. This might just look like a rectangle pizza. There's really nothing here for scale, but one night I decided to try a local pub that has like legendary pizza, and the pizzas were around $10. And it didn't really occur to me what was going on, and I picked up two for the family. It turns out that there's kind of a takeout container back here that you could see a little bit. This takeout container, this pizza barely served one person, so I ended up with this one and this one. This one is chicken bacon ranch, and I will say that the pizza tasted amazing, but it was kind of a bait and switch. I mean, even the box, I would go as far as even saying that these boxes are wasteful because they could probably fit them in to-go containers. There's way too much cardboard for the amount of pizza that they have here. Um, and this is from a place called the Orchard Tavern. Like I said, I would absolutely go back for this pizza. To sit down in the bar with a beer and eat this pizza because it was good. It was I can't fault it. It's kind of that style that is ubiquitous for the area. You got it's cooked in a pan, and you could definitely tell it's kind of oily. Can I actually zoom in? Let's see here. That's not what I wanted to do. All right. Well, anyway, the pizza was good, but the fact that it was so small was ridiculous. Let's do a chicken sandwich. This is the Stewart's chicken sandwich, and getting into it, taste. Let's say 7 out of 10. But in terms of what you got here, if you look at what they have, the chicken, Stewart's is a local convenience store here in upstate New York. I'm in the capital region of upstate New York, but there, once you kind of pass Westchester County, you start seeing Stewart shops. Um, some people will say the official start of upstate New York is when Stewart shops start. I'm not getting into that whole debate. It's really not that important. But they don't have deep fryers, so these are like chicken planks, breast type thing. But they're served on a brioche bun, nice little pickle, and there's supposedly butter actually on the roll too. Um, in terms of flavor, it's a pretty good chicken sandwich, but I would say, you know, it's when it sits in kind of that hot box and it steams a little bit, unless you get one super fresh, it's not the best type of thing. For a chicken sandwich, you'll want to go to like, a fast food place or another local place or something. Um, but in a pinch, it doesn't do bad. And I guess you are able to order them, per, if you want more, like if you want to get a fresh one, even though they have them there, they'll give it to you. All right, this one here is a doozy. This place is no longer around. During the pandemic, there was a food truck parked outside of a bar called Food Truck NY, something like that. And they made this amazing breakfast sandwich, but the hash brown was a complete miss. This here, if you can't tell, is one of those like frozen hash brown planks that's just cooked on a flat top. And it picked up no crispiness, just a little bit of like char and other stuff from the griddle. Um, not great, very floppy. Um, and I don't want to trash talk the place just because it's out of business, because the food there was really good. This here, they should have just deep fried it. I don't know why they didn't. Maybe on a food truck, it's kind of one of those things, you kind of have limited tools, so they didn't have a deep fryer. But I had to bring it in here because it was a good example of a misfire. All right, here we go. Let's go to good old Dunkin' Donuts. Dunkin' Donuts. Good old Dunkin' Donuts. This was kind of, I think, late 2020, and this is me trying to be cute, taking a thumbnail picture. When I say cute, I don't mean like. I guess I'm making kissy lips here, so maybe I do mean that. This is a ghost pepper donut. Let's see if I could zoom in on that. Damn it! I don't know why they don't let you zoom in. Actually, it is zooming in, but it's zooming in on the tool. So this is a ghost pepper donut. Essentially, a regular donut with this glaze that had a little bit of a kick to it, and then this sugar that had a little bit of ghost pepper in it. And what I would say is, in terms of the heat, it didn't taste hot like a hot wing. It tasted hot like those cinnamon candies. Not bad, but definitely a misfire. We are trucking through these. We're taking just as much time as I thought we would. We've done that. We've done that. We've done those. Got a few more here for you. While we're on Dunkin' Donuts, let's talk about a fun one. This was a pumpkin video, and this was the worst food, because not because of the actual food, but because of this wonderful lady here. You could see the smoke coming out of her mouth. She got out of her car while I was filming this video and decided to chain smoke literally 3 feet away from my car. So I'm doing this video. I'm looking things up here. You can see I got my phone out. I got my Dunkin' Donuts bag, and this woman is literally my window is up on this, so you can actually see the little decal there. And You could see that, and then this woman is chain smoking next to the car. I think she was wondering what was going on. And the funny thing is, like, I'm super self-aware when I'm recording. I'm pretty self-conscious of recording in my car, but if you look actually out the back of the window here, you could see there's another woman smoking there. I guess when this woman got tired of creeping on me, creep, she walked over to that person and they were having a nice time. All right. So let's see what we got next. Next up, and in case you ever wanted to do something like this, I'm gonna tell you straight out. All of these windows and equipment and everything, I have like 4 different things I'm trying to manage here. It is not easy at all. Like, this is definitely a lot harder than I thought it was gonna be. All right, what's this? Ah, okay, this is a good one. This one is a soon to be coming to the YouTube channel video. Um, but it's a sneak peek at something. Where am I? Here. All right. We went to Philadelphia for our anniversary, and we went to this brunch place, and I ended up ordering a burger. Um, the I When you see the menu for this place, you'll see it's kind of your standard fare. And I was at that point trying to be kind of a little more heavier on the protein type stuff. So I ordered a burger. And the thing about this was, and this is me panning over it, the little salad, and I'll stop it right here. Even with me trying to like finagle it, you almost could never get to the burger. And just getting into it a little bit here. Look at all this bun real estate that has no topping on it. The cheese, I will say, is Cooper's White American. They're not full squares; they're rectangle, so you can actually extrapolate out the slices of cheese that were probably about that size, and the burger barely filled out, like not barely, that it left all this room here. And it wasn't that it was bad; it was just that presentation. That this is also a double patty, and by playing through the video, you never actually see. And even I tried rotating this, I tried taking it with different cameras, and with that, I never got a good picture of this burger. So there was that one. From the same Philadelphia trip, I'm actually gonna pull in a few different videos from um, from the Philadelphia trip and pictures. This is Van Leeuwen ice cream, and without not being able to zoom in, it's kind of going to be hard, but I'll try. If you look right here, that is a frozen French fry inside of the ice cream, and the ice cream itself is malt ice cream. So it's kind of supposed to be giving you that chocolate malt that you dip your fries into kind of vibes. It was just a misfire. I mean, fun to try, and I made a sundae out of it. I got my hot fudge, my walnut, my whipped cream. So playing the game, that's what it was. Um, it's a misfire because the whole idea behind doing the thing with the let's see if I do this one. There we go. Doing the thing where you dip the fry in the milkshake, right? The fry is hot and crispy. So like it's not frozen. When you chill any potato, because the starch gelatinizes, it gets to be that kind of texture that like you don't want that in your mouth. So this was kind of a misfire in that regard. Let's see what else we got. From another one from Philly. Actually, this is not from Philly. I think that might do it for Phillies. You know what? Let me roast one of my own. Actually, you know what? Let me not roast one of my own. Let me go to this. I'm gonna see If my brother is still in the chat, I'm going to see if he recognizes this one. While we're talking about French fries, this is one of the worst meals I've ever eaten because I got very sick after this meal. And when I say very sick, this is from a restaurant in Middletown that does wood-fired pizzas. And this was a personal pizza. And I don't remember the deal here, but these are French fries on top of the pizza. The presentation is just totally odd. But it turns out after this meal in this restaurant, me and some other family members actually picked up the thing that was going around in 2020, and this was actually in 2022. So that was fun. That's why that's one of the worst meals I've ever eaten. All right, I got to do something here. I'm having a little trouble with the chat here right now. All right, and let's move on. Let me get my window back up. All right. Now I'll roast myself. This is one of those things where I said this was a video I made in 2022. Let's test out a theory. I'm really tired of hearing people debate about whether pineapple on pizza is good or not. So I made a pizza. I made the best dough I could make in this oven pan format, and I kind of divided it pineapple only, pineapple and ham, and then pineapple, ham, bacon, pepperoni, like a meat lovers. And I compared the three. And essentially what my conclusion was that pineapple on pizza is fine. The ham and the other meat stuff, it definitely worked better on those, but either way, the pineapple is a little bit too watery. And I would say, I know Home Rapid Repair said earlier in the stream here, cooked green peppers are good. I don't know that I agree that raw green peppers going on a pizza is good. Saute those things first, then put it on the pizza before you bake it. When you have this much water, it's incompatible with the cheese on top. So it's just not a great thing. And that was from me. I did that. I don't know what happened here. The cheese I used got super like brown. I was pretty bummed about it. And I actually grated my own cheese. So I don't know what happened there. I know I mean I guess maybe the temperature was too high, but that's that one. I still have more. We're going strong. Here's one I did for another live stream. This is a Chinese dish called Lake Ting Tung Shrimp or Tung Ting. I've actually seen it on menus, either Tung Ting Shrimp or Ting Tung Shrimp. But anyway, this was an odd one. When I started going through the Chinese menu after the Egg Foo What podcast kind of surfaced last year before last, I started exploring things I thought were different, and this was a really weird one. What you have is a shrimp sautéed with some veggies, and then it's in this sauce that's supposedly thickened, and there's actually milk in the sauce. It was a little weird, kind of a seafood broth kind of thing, really gloopy. Definitely not lobster sauce. Lobster sauce usually has like stringy white proteiny things in it. This here, I think this is just the fact that it's not a clarified broth that they made it with. It was a very weird dish, but taste wise, it was all right. But it's not an easy dish to look at. Let's just put it that way. Definitely not an easy dish to look at. We did wontons. Let's see here. We've done all that. Let's do some more chicken sandwiches. And I think actually, you know what? Let's roast Mr. Beast. Why not? We can roast Mr. Beast Burger. This was the very first shot doing Beast Burger right after the video came out. There was one on Wolf Road operating out of Buca de Beppo. We ordered the entire menu, spent $80 on 3 or 4 burgers, with some fries. This burger here, you can see, has some French fries on it, some bacon, some American cheese. The bun was nice and squishy. You can actually see this picture. I had a little assistance from my wife, Cassie. Thank you, Cassie. And smash burgers. But the misfire here is the price. Mr. Beast Burger was just way too expensive. I think they're still around, but I think Mr. Beast is doing his best to try to distance himself from it. And with that, I actually have a second Mr. Beast Burger thing, and that is this is the chicken sandwich. And this was actually recorded at the People of Video conference in 2021. 2021. I get a lot of crap for saying 2020 and 2021. I've heard other people say I don't know. I don't know the deal there, but so this is the same exact bun. This is the Nashville chicken sandwich, which you can see it's dry as hell. Nashville is usually dripping in oil because after they fry the chicken, they dunk it in like essentially the deep frying oil. It's been tainted with the what do you call it? The Nashville seasoning. You can see a little bit of the seasoning here. It made it a little bit red. Um, but the detail here that's important is that these are damn chicken tenders. There's 2 chicken tenders across the bun. Um, Yeah, home rapid repair. The Beast Burgers. I don't know if they're closing down. I think I've seen a lot of clickbait titles that actually say that, and then you watch the video, and they say, "Oh, he's just trying to distance himself." There were some tweets that he made where, like you say here, that there were lawsuits that where he's suing them and they're counter suing, and there's a whole bunch of drama going on. I think essentially he's trying to distance himself from the Beast Burger brand, and there's nothing he can do to actually separate his brand name from what they're doing there. I think they're still around. But it's a good point. A lot of the ghost kitchen type things, the celebrity run ghost kitchens, they're gone. Like there's a lot of them that just completely disappeared. Even some under the same heading as Mr. Beast Burger. I forgot what the name of the brand is. Um, anyway, I think the idea of the ghost kitchen was good and it kind of helped a lot of restaurants during the pandemic, but I think quality control ended up being an issue. But you can see here, this is just a complete joke of of a chicken sandwich. It's 2 chicken tenders and this meal. So regular fries, a soda, essentially a combo meal, and this chicken sandwich to get delivered to the conference center, which is a hotel here in Albany. It was something like $26 or $27, and I ate the cost on that because if I would have eaten at the restaurant inside there, it would have been the same price after a tip. And this actually gave me a little bit of an opportunity inside of the venue. You can actually see their LED lighting back here. Um, in the venue where the People of Video conference was happening, the stage was off to the right here, a little bit of a ways, to record a video there and kind of do something kind of fun, kind of related to the conference, which is similar to what I did for Vid Summit. Trying to, you know, I follow a lot of YouTube help kind of thing and network with a lot of the people in there, and that's actually where I think Home Rapid Repair we've connected with each other. But I try to, if I go to these events, do some networking, feature some of those people in the videos, and try to do a little something there. So there's that too. Now there was one thing that I thought I had put in here, but I guess maybe I didn't. Damn, we'll have to. Maybe I decided not to because the video I haven't made the video yet. Let's do an Outer Banks. We haven't done any Outer Banks. And this channel is actually becoming popular for Outer Banks content, believe it or not. I go down to Outer Banks, I get recognized more there than I do in my own area, which is hilarious. All right. These are donuts on a stick from a place called Donut on a Stick in the Outer Banks. In theory, sounds amazing. And I remember we this was from our 2020 trip. let's do this color because it'll be nice and contrast against it. Essentially, what you do is you pick your toppings for your donuts. In the Outer Banks, there for some reason a thing down there is hot fried cake donuts that are topped with chocolate, icing, peanut butter, fruit, all types of stuff. Duck Donuts is a chain that kind of grew out of the Outer Banks and now kind of expanded up the East Coast. We have one here in the Albany area. Um, and there are a couple other places that are kind of more locally themed, and Donut on a Stick is one of those places. Now, again, sounds amazing in theory. The problem with these, they were super greasy, and like by the time like you want to try to pick it up by the stick, right? That's the whole point. Donut on a stick. You can't. You essentially have to like hunch over with the stick and kind of eat it like corn on the cob, really, where you're holding both sides of the stick and you're kind of rotating the donut, and then this stuff's making it all over the place. It's one of those things that, and like I said, it sounds like it's incredible. It tastes fine, but these here, they were just super greasy, and the whole idea of doing it on a stick just doesn't work. You essentially need to fork and knife it anyway. Let's see. I think I might have one or two more. So if you've stuck around this long, thank you so much for watching. Um, definitely, I'm gonna give you guys the big ending here. Hang tight for 1 second here, because I think, yeah, I got one more. Perfect, big ending time. This one is one of the worst things I've ever eaten because I ruined it. I screwed it up. Another burger. This you'll say it looks pretty good, right? Well, this is the before picture. I don't have an after picture because um, I essentially ruined the burger. So on the side with this burger came, it might be right under my hand here, a little metal dish with a truffle aioli. So what I did was I took off the lid, I took the knife, I tasted the truffle aioli, and it tasted like a super meaty mayonnaise. Like, it didn't taste like truffle. I'm like, oh, that tastes like a little savory. That'll be good on the burger. I proceeded to literally apply it all across the thing, and it essentially made it inedible. Um, I ruined it. I guess maybe it was their fault for giving me that much truffle aioli. Truffles are supposed to be decadent, and it's one of those very divisive ingredients, because if you're shaving truffles on stuff, it raises the price, and it also tastes amazing. But if you put truffle oil, a lot of those times are made with synthetic chemicals that don't really taste great. They kind of taste like chemicals when they're overloaded, and that definitely happened to this burger here. It's from a place called Hamlet and Ghost. You could see beautiful American cheese, some bacon on there, nice crust on the burger. I know the lighting is a little bit bad in this picture. This is the best I could do to fix it up. They don't have any lights. It's all candle lit in there. I think maybe a couple lights throughout the restaurant. Some sesame on the burger, including black sesame. So it was definitely a good burger that just was the victim of my circumstance, and I had ruined that. Um, I want to take a couple minutes at the end of this to kind of talk a little bit about um, the schedule for December and where I've been. Um, after Vid Summit, actually before Vid Summit, our dog passed away, so I stopped streaming just to kind of collect myself and kind of get back into the mindset of editing and getting back on a schedule. And I've been having a lot of trouble with getting on an editing schedule and stuff. So the thing is, I have one more video coming out this year. That's an edited video that's coming out on Saturday. It's an analysis of Jersey Mike subs. So there's that you have to look forward to, and I have to look forward to. Um, I have a lot of shorts coming between now and the end of the year, and I'm going to live stream every Thursday between now and the end of the year, as well as a couple of other kind of pop-up live streams that I'm going to do, just like I did last year between Christmas and New Year's. I don't know if I'm going to stream every day. My plan is next week, what I want to do here on the stream is react to viewer submitted things. So if you come across something on social media over the next few days that you want me to kind of break down and analyze in terms of based on the picture on social media, or if you've come across a meal that was really bad, essentially this week was the worst things I've ever eaten, and next week will be like the worst things you've ever sent me or something like that. And I'll do the same type of breakdown with things that are user submitted. And if not, what I'll do is there's a few things I've come across on social media that I want to give a little bit of a roast in a nice way. Not to kind of um, not to be unprofessional or anything. That's not the point, or mean spirited. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Um, I'm also going to do a 2 weeks from now a Christmas party, something to do with eggnog. It's what we do every year. Eggnog is kind of our entryway to the food thing, and we talk a little bit about what's going on. So it's the eggnog party. I'll put a little bit of an analysis spin on it. So we'll do something where I'll do tasting, or I'll do some drawing on the screen, or something to that effect. And then around New Year's Eve, I don't know if I'm going to do it on New Year's Eve again or not, but I'll do kind of a yearly wrap up stream and kind of go over some of the things that we've accomplished here in the channel, where we're going in 2024, and all that stuff. So with that, thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you again in next week's stream. Like I said, DM me on social media, with things that you've come across that may or may not be something that you want to see me roast here on the channel. When I say roast, like I said, not really roasting. And I will leave a link to my podcast playlist right here, and you can click on that if you're watching on the replay. Thanks a lot for watching, and we'll see you next time.